Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulihil kareem. The last hadith we done, if you remember there, was about, you look there, just read the last hadith again. وَأَنَ أَنَسٍ قَالَ أُتِيَ عُبَيْدُ اللَّهِ بْنِ زِيَادٍ بِرَأْسِ الْحُسَيْنِ فجعل في طست فجعل ينكت وقال في حسنه شيئا فقال أنس فقلت والله إنه كان أشبههم برسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وكان مغضوبا بالوسمة. Right. So that last hadith here, remember, speaks about. Remember, we were discussing the whole chapters with regards to Ahl Bayt, the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we know that Hazrat Hussein radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was martyred in Karbala when he stood up against Yazid because he felt Yazid wasn't an appropriate Khalifa. Right. Right. So that last riwayat we done here was that Yazid substituted the governor of Kufa, and he put the governor of Kufa. He sent the governor of Basra, Abdullah ibn Ziyad. What he done? He sent the governor of Basra. Where did this whole Karbala thing take place? It took place in Kufa. Karbala was close to Kufa, right? So he substituted the governor of Kufa grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was brought into the presence. See, وعن أنس قال أتي عبيد الله بن زياد برأس رسول. Then he began prodding it, right? He began prodding the head of Rasul prodding the head of the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وقال في حسنه شيئا, and he was actually, you can say, to say, mocking the beauty. And remember, this is now where the relevance puts in. But remember, we said that as the Hassan, he resembled the upper half of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he resembled the lower half of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm just repeating this to show you how it fits into the bab, right? Because this is actually the chapter of what? Of the virtue of the Ahlul Bayt, right? So then Anis said, look here, be careful what you're doing here. You are mocking, you are being sarcastic about the handsomeness or the beauty of Hussein. وَإِنَّهُ كَانَ أَشْبَهَهُمْ. He was the most resembling of them. In other words, the prophet of the family of Rasulullah sallallahu bi Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? So that is what we discussed so far. So I told you Abdullah ibn Ziyad, he was substituted in the place of the governor of Kufa, right? Because he had this, if you can say, a personal interest. Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad had a personal interest in harming Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So Muslim ibn Aqil, he was a representative of Muslim ibn Aqil, right? Muslim ibn Aqil was right. So anyway, there's a very interesting academic discussion that we know Yazid was the son of Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala, right? And as Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala, before he passed away, he elected Yazid as his successor, right? What is the position of Yazid? what role did he play in the martyrdom of Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu? What is our attitude to Yazid, etc.? Was he happy that with the killing of Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala, did he give Ubaidullah ibn Ziyad the express order that, look here, when Hazrat Hussein, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu come here, you must kill him, right? Or did he just say, look here, that, he's a grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu, just neutralize him or incapacitate him, right? So there's different riwayats. Did he give the express instruction that kill Hazrat Hussein, or did he personally hate Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, or did he just say, look here, he is the son of Rasul, a grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we must respect him, we can't kill him, but because he is opposing me as the legitimate Khalifa, etc., etc., um, we're gonna neutralize him, or we're just gonna incapacitate him so that he cannot harm my Khilafat, etc. So obviously, the Shias, they are quite clear in their position that they hate Yazid because they say that Yazid was instrumental in killing Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. The Barelvis also, they are clear in their position. But as the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, our ulama are a bit divided on this matter, and that's what we're going to discuss. That is what we're going to discuss here. What is our position exactly with regards to Yazid? What role did Yazid play in the martyrdom of Hussein? Like I mentioned to you, did he just instruct that Hazrat Hussein be incapacitated, or did he give an express instruction that he be killed, he be humiliated? Also, there's another very important thing. Remember, after the Khulafa al-Rashideen, right, it was the Umayyads that came to power. That was the family of Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu, right? And after them, it was the Abbasids. The Abbasids, they removed the Umayyads, right? Are you with me? So, ulama explain also that the Abbasids wrote a lot of negative things about the Umayyads just to justify their removal from power, just to justify that they were removed. If you look at most of our history books, etc., it was compiled in the Abbasid period. So remember Khulafa al-Rashideen, then you had the Umayyads, and after the Umayyads, you had the Abbasids. So if you look at, like, I was telling you the other day, Bidayah wa Nihaya, etc., these are the main history books, right? Ibn Kathir, the same one that Ibn Kathir that we're studying, the same author there, right? So a lot of the history books, etc., was authored in this time. So some ulama say that history was skewed, right, uh, to favor or to justify the removal of the Umayyads, and it was skewed in favor of the Abbasids. So they were purposefully made to look bad, right? Are you with me? So if you all remember recently, maybe a couple of years ago, there was a book written by one of the ustads of Darul Uloom Azad. He tried to exonerate Yazid, to say that no, most of this is false propaganda against him. He's an innocent person, etc. He wasn't as bad as he was. That was written by Ustad of Darul Uloom Zakaria. I won't take his name. Then in response to that, um, Madrasa Talimuddin in Durban, they wrote a book stating the opinion of our Jamhur ulama that we don't exonerate Yazid. We don't exonerate Yazid. We say he's blameworthy. And they say, in fact, Mualtaha Karan was here, he was sitting, and I asked him, he said, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. When our ulama, our akabir of Deoban, they were clear that Yazid was at fault. Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala was on haq. He had the right to oppose Yazid. So we don't have to come with a new opinion to try to justify Yazid. There is a group, be as it may, you find this difficult to believe, but there is a group from amongst the Salafis that reside in the Arabian Peninsula that they are in favor of Yazid. They say that Yazid was justified in doing whatever he done to Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhum. And in fact, There's a street somewhere in Saudi. I don't know now if they it's called Yazid Street. I'm not sure if they name it after Yazid Muawiyah or it's just Yazid in general, whatever. But there was this debacle a couple of years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, where between Darul Uloom Al Adval and Darul Uloom Talimuddin Ispingo Beach, the way they were trying to clarify the position of Yazid, right? So yeah, there's the Shareef, the commentary that I got in front of me. The author has brought some information that I want to share with you. Although the information is particular about Yazid, but there's some important usul that we learn in general from this. I repeat, although they're going to be discussing Yazid here, but there are certain important aqidah usul that we learn from this. And the discussion generally revolves around, is it permissible for us to curse Yazid? And there's a famous masla in the Aqidah books also, which is discussed in detail in all the Aqidah books. Is it permissible to curse Yazid or not? So I told you, there was an attempt from certain of our ulama to actually exonerate Yazid, to say his hands were clean. And I told you there was one who starts from Darul Azadul. And Mufti Razaul Haq, that Aqidah book that we got, seemed like he was also inclined to this opinion that Yazid's hands were clean. And I told you also there's this famous history book of Salabi. It's translated into English. He's a Libyan scholar or Lebanese scholar. Not sure Libyan. He also tried to say that Yazid's hands was clean. But anyway, the author brought some interesting things here. I'll share with you. As I said, maybe we're not so interested in exactly about Yazid, but there's a few important principles that we will learn. So in Surah Muhammad, in verse number 23, Surah Muhammad, verse number 3, in Ruhul Ma'ani. Ruhul Ma'ani is one of the main basic tafsir books, right? The basic primary, the books, and the author is Allama Alusi, right? Baghdadi, Allama Alusi Baghdadi was a famous scholar, very knowledgeable scholar. He brought this discussion, and he said, and he wrote a lot there about. So he writes there that one, are we allowed to curse Yazid or not? Can we say, may Allah Ta'ala punish Yazid, may Allah Ta'ala curse Yazid, may Allah Ta'ala destroy him, may Allah Ta'ala filling him in the fire of Jahannam, etc., because of what he done to Hazrat Hussein? Can we say, La'natullahi ala Yazid, may the curse of Allah Ta'ala be upon Yazid because of um, the difficulty that he imposed upon Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, the grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as Ahmad, so this is all under the verse of, I told you, verse 23, Surah Muhammad, in the Ruh al-Ma'ani of Allama Alusi Baghdadi. So he answered and he said, Imam Ahmad said, why should I not curse that person who Allah Ta'ala has cursed? In other words, he's saying that you can curse him. You understand what I'm saying? Why should I not curse who Allah Ta'ala, why should we not curse that person who Allah Ta'ala cursed him in the Quran? So Abdullah, the son of Imam Ahmad, said, oh my father, I read the whole Quran, but I never find a curse in the Quran against Yazid. I never find a curse in the Quran against, there's no mention of Yazid. So he says, Imam Ahmad said, didn't you read this verse? بسم الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فهل عسيتم إن توليتم أن تفسدوا في الأرض وتقطعوا أرحامكم أولئك الذين لعنهم الله فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم. So he said, this is the verse here. فهل عسيتم, Surah Muhammad, verse number 20. فهل عسيتم إن توليتم أن تفسدوا في الأرض وتقطعوا أرحامكم أولئك الذين لعنهم الله فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم. So he says in this verse here, Allah Ta'ala curses those people, causes fasad on the land. Allah Ta'ala curses those people who causes fasad on the land. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also curses those people who breaks family ties. So the verse is, فَهَلْ عَسَيْتُمْ, is it not perhaps that if you turn away, تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ, that you will commit corruption in the land, وَتُقَطِّئُوا أَرْحَامَكُمْ, and you break the family ties, right? أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ لَعَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ, these are the people who Allah Ta'ala has cursed them. فَأَصَمَّهُمْ, he made them blind, made them deaf, وَأَعْمَى أَبْصَارَهُمْ, and he made them blind. So Imam Ahmad used this verse. You see, Allah Ta'ala curses the people who causes corruption in the earth. Allah Ta'ala فَهَلْ أَسَيْتُمْ إِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَتُقَطِّعُوا أَرْحَامَكُمْ. Would you not then, if you are given authority, فَلَا أَسَيْتُمْ إِن تَوَلَّيْتُمْ, if you are given authority, أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. So this verse speaks about the fasad and the corruption of those people who are given authority. So he's saying, see, Yazid was given authority and he caused the corruption, and Allah Ta'ala cursed those people who caused the corruption. So فَهَلَا سَيْتُمْ, would you not then, if you are given authority, if you are given authority, right, do mischief, أَن تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَتُقَطِّئُوا أَرْحَامَكُمْ, and you break the family ties, right? So Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, rahimahullah ta'ala, he used this verse to say that you can curse Yazid, right? So Allama Alusi, he writes further, he says, that to curse a specific person, like one as you say like this, just to understand this by way of example, you say like this here, may Allah Ta'ala curse all the kuffar, right? That's a general curse. May Allah Ta'ala curse all the sinners. That's a general. But to take the name of a particular person, may Allah Ta'ala curse such and such a person, you take his name. May Allah Ta'ala curse Yazid bin Muawiyah. May Allah Ta'ala curse John. May Allah Ta'ala curse Paul or whatever, right? So, Allama Alusi, he quotes the incident of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. Remember I told you, although we're discussing the incident of Yazid here, but we're going to learn a few important principles from the whole thing that's going to help us going forward, right? So you say, from this incident of what transpired between Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal and his son, we learn that the opinion of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal is that it is permissible to take a specific person's name and curse him. Like you can say, may Allah Ta'ala curse before this particular person. But here there's some ikhtilaf amongst the ulama. Although this is the opinion of Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, but if you look at the Jamhur ulama, our Jamhur ulama, they say it is not permissible to curse a specific Muslim, whether he's fasik or ghair fasik, or whether he's alive or whether he passed away, until you're not certain he died upon kufr. So until you, and how will you be certain a person died upon kufr? The only way you can be certain a person died upon kufr is when you got clear text from the Quran or the Hadith. So even if you see somebody passing away there, you're not sure if that person died on kufr or not, because it could be that just before he passed away, he recited the Shahada, etc., etc. You understand what I'm saying? So uh, you can only curse somebody when you're certain he passed away on kufr, and you can only be certain he passed away on kufr when you got clear text from the Quran and Hadith that this person passed away on kufr. Like example, Abu Jahl. We know the Quran speaks about him, or the Hadith speaks he passed on kufr. Abu Lahab, etc., etc. Uh, there was another famous scholar called Allama Bulqini, right? He says that uh, even if you're not certain that a person died upon kufr, still you can curse him. Still, a fasik, a fajr. So yeah, Allama Ruhul Ma'ani says, in light of the statement of Allama Bulaqini, we don't have any doubt that it is permissible to curse Yazid. Why he says that Umayyads, are you with me? We done this. Remember Harra? He done. He sent the army, and for 3 days the army. And he also is saying that that he expressed happiness upon the martyrdom or the killing of Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And he says here, he also disgraced the family of Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala after that. And he says also that there is a group of our ulama, our own ulama, the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that have made mention clear that you can curse him and that he was a kafir, he had come out of the fold of Islam, right? And from amongst them was Allama Jawzi and also Qazi Abu Ya'la. Allama Taftazani, the author of the famous Aqidatul Nasafiyah, which is also an Aqidah book that's normally taught in the Dar Ulooms. He says also, we have no doubt, we have no reservation in his iman, and we have no doubt and reservation in cursing him even. So Allama Alusi of Ruh al-Ma'ani is quoting all of this here. Even, you go to Jalalain, mashallah, Allama Suyuti was a Shafi al-Madhab. Allama Suyuti also said that he was clear that you can curse Yazid. Then Ibn Wardi, in his book, in his kitab Al-Wafa'ul bil-Wafayat, he says that when the family, the bereaved of Hazrat Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu, after Hussein was killed, when they were brought to Iraq, right? The women, the children. So who can tell me now what is what they missing? So Yazid came out to meet them. So the children of Hazrat Hussein and the family of Hazrat Ali bin Hussein, right, that were brought. And he says at that same time, when as they were being brought into the presence of Yazid, there was a crowd that was like lamenting. Coincidence. So لما بدت تلك الحمول وأشرقت تلك الرؤوس على شفا جيرونة, right, which translated follows, When the caravan with the women folk of Hussein radiallahu ta'ala anhu was brought close and came to the place of Jardan, then he said, this is what Yazid said. He said, نعت الغراب فقلت قل أو لا تقل فقد اقتديت من الرسول ديوني. So he said, he addressed the crow, and he said that you can lament or you don't lament the demise of Hussein, doesn't matter. But I've extracted my revenge upon the death of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, if you say, what does he mean? I extracted or I exacted my revenge on the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, ulama explain here what he's saying. He said, look here, in Badr, many of his ancestors were killed by the Muslimin. So he's trying to say that, look here, today I'm paying back. I'm paying back the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm paying back for the ancestors that were killed. Now I'm killing the progeny of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, if this is authentic, if this is true, that he really made the statement, then there is no doubt that he can't be a Muslim. How can you want to? I mean, that means you don't even accept the Rasul as a Rasul. You know what I'm saying? If you believe that he's truly the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you can't believe that you are exacting revenge upon him, etc. You understand what I'm saying? Because he was doing what he has been commanded to do. So, so if these statements like this poem, etc., like I told you, like how Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, etc., say that he expressed happiness. He expressed happiness upon the demise of Hussein. Then there is no doubt that he can be a kafir. There is no doubt that he um, we can curse him. Okay, we'll stop there. We'll switch over to the tafsir. There's just a little bit more explanation before we'll proceed to the next hadith, inshallah. So now we'll switch over to the tafsir, inshallah.